and welcome to Show of the Week with Outside Xbox. I'm Jane.
And I'm Andy. This week I appreciated the fact that a character called Quiet never stops f***ing humming.
You sure you want to be cussing out Quiet like that?
Why, what's she gonna do? Oh, right.
Well, I've been getting into the new Destiny expansion, The Taken King.
Oh yeah? How's that?
It's more Destiny, quite a lot more in fact. After more limited DLC packs The Dark Below and House of Wolves, both of which you'll require if you want to play this, The Taken King is the nearest thing to Destiny 2 we've had so far. It's got a new location, story missions, strikes, crucible maps, subclasses, and unlike House of Wolves, a new raid called King's Fall for you and your buddies to smash your head against. The story goes that after finishing off Crota in the Dark Below's Crota's End raid, his pappy Oryx is less than thrilled and has raised an army of Taken, basically twisted versions of the game's usual suspects, to get revenge on the Guardians.
Oryx has arrived. We must be careful, or we will all die.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have emote danced on Crota's corpse. How bad?
He smells the blood of his son on your hands.
That story also provides an excuse for the first legitimately new location to be added since Destiny arrived a year ago.
Why do you think they crashed their ship into the Dreadnought?
Oryx's spaceship, the Dreadnought, isn't some tiny runabout for popping between planets. It's a massive supertanker of a thing, large enough to be explored, and will host the bulk of the new content, including the new raid, finishing up with a dust-up with Oryx himself. We don't know much about him, but it's safe to say, expect it to be a bloody nightmare. You'll have some new powers to help with that fight though, should you so choose. Each class has a new subclass, and while we're sure that the Hunter's Night Stalker and the Warlock's Stormcaller subclasses are just great, we're all about the Titan's Sunbreaker subclass with its massive space hammer, aka the Hammer of Soul. Subtlety's not really his strong point. This particular King's arrival has been heralded by a monster 17-gig patch that's mandatory for all Destiny players and makes a ton of tiny balancing tweaks to how the game plays as a whole. The most conspicuous and potentially jarring change though is the retirement of Peter Dinklage as the voice of Ghost. I guess we never will find out where that wizard came from.
There you are.
And if you already fell off the Destiny train a long time ago and are stuck with some low-level space grub for a character, worry not. Activision's not going to let that be an excuse not to buy the Taken King. When you begin the expansion, you'll have the one-time option to boost one of your characters immediately to level 25 and grab a selection of level-appropriate gear, so you can dive straight into the new stuff. If, like me, you level to 25 the hard way and are now distraught that all your precious gear is worthless garbage thanks to an expansion, welcome to MMOs. Get used to it.
We're Guardians, and Guardians don't flee, they fight.
So they fired the Dink.
They didn't fire Peter Dinklage, he just wasn't available to do any more voice work.
Destiny fans don't care. Seriously, messing with your voice actors is a risky business.
Oh yeah, why's that?
Because although game developers might be tempted to recast their beloved characters with new voice actors, it can sometimes go more wrong than Nolan North's Cockney accent.
Ooh, aren't you scary?
Quiet you, and beware of these pitfalls.
For me, it's simple. It's a way of life.
Fans get attached to the voices of well-established characters. When it was announced that Thief developer Eidos would be swapping out Stephen Russell, the voice actor who had played thieving protagonist Garrett in the first 3 Thief games, for Assassin's Creed 2 mocap actor Romano Orzari, fans were so upset that they started a change.org petition to reinstate Russell and oust Orzari. Even more popular was the petition to bring David Hayter back as the voice of Snake in Metal Gear Solid 5, which got over 22,000 signatures before closing. 22,000 signatures that were totally ignored, but still.
Kept you waiting, huh?
For many people, the voice is the character. Maybe less so in the case of Destiny's Ghost, because he's just a hovering robot version of one of those paper fortune tellers you make at school.
Where did that wizard come from? The moon, apparently.
Could you be Snake? Are you Solid Snake?
That's what some people call me.
You don't just risk a bunch of peeved fans either. An ousted voice actor may be understandably upset and turn to their often sizable social media followings to vent their frustration. David Hayter gave a masterclass in Twitter sympathy gathering, tweeting several jabs at Konami and changing his Twitter avatar to a picture of Kiefer Sutherland. Konami copped it again when Guy Seehey, the original voice actor for James Sunderland in Silent Hill 2, was replaced by Troy Baker for the HD collection, which resulted in a bunch of mudslinging from which no one emerged looking very good. And you know what might happen if you piss off your actors?
I'm Johnny Cage. No contest.
Another worry is that if you let your actors go, they might run off to your competitors, taking their recognisable face and voice and putting them all over some other franchise. This happened when actor Daniel Pacino, who played Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat, parted ways with Midway.
And remember, Mortal Kombat is totally true to life. Or is that death? Ha!
He almost immediately resurfaced in an advert for arcade fighter and Mortal Kombat rival Bloodstorm, dressed as Johnny Cage. Look at his Johnny Cage face. And here he is doing the splits between two Bloodstorm machines. Don't know about you guys, but I could really go for a game of Bloodstorm right about now.
Who is this? How'd you find me?
Give me a little credit, Sam. Don't tell me you don't recognize my voice even after all this time.
Grim, what do you want?
The trouble with voice actors is that they, like all human life, are mortal and subject to the process of gradual entropy that leads us all finally and inexorably to the grave, or aging as it's sometimes known.
I'm not doing a damn thing until you tell me how you found me.
So when you want to fully performance capture your hero for your next game, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and the man behind the very distinctive voice of Sam Fisher, or Michael Ironside, is well over 60, you're a bit stuck.
We needed somebody that could bring the physicality to the dialogue, meaning it needed to be captured at the same time.
So that's why Ubisoft recast Sam Fisher with actor Eric Johnson, who is younger and more amenable to wearing lycra mocap bodysuits.
Perfect physique, great height and body that match our skeleton.
What he said. The new guy sounded age appropriate and could rough up the stuntmen, but vocally lacked the essential Ironsidiness of Michael Ironside, said the reviews.
You got something to say it.
The solution to this problem, like so many problems, is a series of Michael Ironside clones grown in vats at 10-year intervals.
Niccolo, you better not stop telling me what you think. Why else would I seek the opinion of my most trusted advisor?
Go kill them, Mentore. Finish what you started.
Good advice.
Sure, when you're working on a big-budget AAA title, you can afford the cream of the voice acting crop for your lead character. But what happens when you want to use that same beloved character in your much smaller budget CCC spin-off? Either you fork out the big bucks, or you do what Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed Chronicles. That is, hire someone who sounds similar to Roger Craig Smith, but not quite the same.
Perfect. This tactic is also good to escape from combat.
You know, just enough to be annoying. According to Rog, he was never even asked. Given how often you wheeled an increasingly decrepit Ezio out for one last job in the main series, did you honestly think we wouldn't notice, Ubisoft? Requiescat in pace suspension of disbelief.
Remember to look for signs your opponent is about to strike.
Now it's time to see what's written in the comments and in angry letters demanding the reinstatement of your favourite voice actors.
Yeah, I'm just finishing my letter to Konami demanding that they bring back the original voice for Solid Snake.
What, David Hayter?
No, from the original Metal Gear, just a series of bleeps and bloops. Really captured the essence of the character.
First up, here are comments on this video about dignity-free ways to win in video games. Some people believe that true victory can only be achieved when the victor stays morally uncompromised, by never sacrificing their dignity to score a cheap win. What are those people called? Oh right, suckers.
Chosen 141 is confused, saying, wasn't the Uncharted 2 one here the actual way to do that boss fight?
Doesn't make it any more dignified.
Why won't you die?
But Roz Turner knows where it's at. And this is why I can't bring myself to be anything but an archer on Skyrim. Ha! Dovahkiin name, Courage the Cowardly Archer.
And then Alduin died mysteriously with loads of arrows in him, though no one knew where they came from. And thus ends the legend of Skyrim.
Thanks, Lawmaster. Then Kung Fu action star Po Forto has an exciting suggestion of their own. In Sleeping Dogs, you often have to clear the location of a bunch of thugs in order to access a camera. So instead of Kung Fuing them, I'd take them down by simply running them over with a car.
Can't deny it's effective.
Moving on, here are your comments on this video on the Cuphead bosses that will ruin your life and Mike's language.
A giant hypnotist carrot.
Roger Puzzatiello is shocked, saying, "Damn, Mike, what's your f***ing language?"
Sorry, it's not all bad for the English language though, as Katie Meese points out. A giant hypnotist carrot. Words probably never uttered in that exact order before by anyone ever. Kudos, Mike, for being a pioneer in this new moment.
This all feels familiar to Joao Silva, who says, "This game reminds me of Metal Slug. Ooh, that game is so dope."
I don't know, I don't think I swore this much playing Metal Slug.
It's a hard gun game based around running a gauntlet of bosses that will ruin your life.
Finally, this week, your comments on last week's show, which involved Forza 6 and balloons.
Well, I've been playing Forza Motorsport 6.
Does it have balloons?
Well, yes, it's a racing game. All these balloons have given Drake Oram an idea. I've just realised what would really cap the vehicle weapons in Mad Max. The Balpoon. Fire a harpoon into an enemy car, then attach a balloon to the other end of the cable, wait a little while for the hot air to run out, and it'll be raining scrap in that desert.
Genius! Meanwhile, Craig Noneman is dreaming big. I'm convinced that with enough balloons placed strategically across the map, I can Fulton Afghanistan.
Better call ahead, let Ocelot know it's coming. Finally, Jesse Clark says, "I waited the entire show for Jane to attempt a Fulton on Mike. You should have knocked him out and carried him outside first."
Knock him out, of course.
Hey, remember what my revised contract says? You're not allowed to knock me out anymore.
Ah, yeah. I'm not allowed to knock you out. Right.
Yeah, right. What's that noise?
That's it for Show of the Week. Thanks for watching. Also, I've had this report back from the IT department and it says your computer is full of angry wasps. But no worries, if you press the like button, it will release a cloud of poison gas, sorting that right out.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
It's probably what's causing the slowdown.
Yeah, it's probably it, yeah. Personally, I think Nolan North's done a pretty good job.
Oh, good. Then you'll be right behind my idea, which is that you're now voiced by me. Oh, what? Much better.